Hello, everyone. Testing, mic check. I think we're good to go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Exploring the Motherland African News with Garth. I'm your host, Garth. Exploring the Motherland will continue to promote the mission of Quest to Unite Africa. You ask Garth, what is the mission of Quest to Unite Africa? Well, luckily, I'm here to tell you. Quest Unite Africa is a non-profit charity that promotes economic development and critical infrastructure for the benefit of Africa and the African diaspora as a whole. We do this through four initiatives: business, medical, cultural engagement, and technological innovation. Exploring the Motherland will not only just talk about the mission of Quest Unite Africa. Here, we will be discussing different news articles, news developments happening on the continent of Africa, and stress the relevance of those news developments to our mission here at Quest Unite Africa. Thank you for joining, and let's begin. This is the pilot. So if you have any suggestions, I'm open to them, and I will put these articles in the chat so you could follow along. Thank you, family. And I also have some slides, and I will present them as we go talk. All right. Our first news story: desperate Zimbabweans cross Zambia border for cheaper healthcare. According to a 2023 report by the local advocacy group, Community Working Group on Health, most Zimbabweans do not have access to quality and affordable health care. And this group is an agency that is evaluating the health infrastructure of Zimbabwe. And basically, they're saying that the government needs to prioritize primary health care to achieve universal health care coverage. But the problem is, poor Zimbabweans do not have as good as access to healthcare because they rely heavily on the government's healthcare, whereas the more affluent citizens of Zimbabwe are able to turn to expensive private sectors or go to a private doctor. Like here, you have your PPO or HMO, and you have your pick of what health professional you want to see. But the Zimbabweans are not that fortunate. Some of them have to cross the border to get affordable health care. So think about this. They have to go into a whole nother country to just get health care or get a checkup or get medicines. And this is unfortunate because we take stuff like this for granted here, where we have, I'm not saying that our healthcare is the best, obviously, but we have access to healthcare. We wouldn't have to necessarily go across the border to seek healthcare. And you're probably saying they have to spend money to get across the border and to take the trip and then on top of that, pay the healthcare provider or pay for the medicine or pay for the pharmacy. But I'm telling you, as ridiculous as this sounds, it still is cheaper for them to go across the border and take that trip. And now here's the good part. How does this relate to Quest to Unite Africa? Well, this relates to Quest to Unite Africa because we want to create strategic relationships, in this case, through our medical initiative. And how do we create strategic relationships through our medical initiative? We have already done things in the past. I know some of people follow the channel and see the channel, our channel, and our family who've been supporting us with the Ming kits that we have donated to different countries on the continent. So in order for us to alleviate this problem, we would come together as a brain trust, because we have brilliant people within Quest to Unite Africa, doctors who could help train other other aspiring healthcare professionals in Zimbabwe. We could also provide medical donations that are also critical for their healthcare infrastructure. And we could set up an initiative through our people here in America, where we could provide training and or try to come together and find a way we could offer things such as equipment, things like, let's just say gloves, sanitation equipment, things that we take here for granted. And also in Burkina Faso, because I was in Burkina Faso about 2 months. It's crazy to believe that. I saw this firsthand, how bad the healthcare infrastructure was, how the people there literally had to wait outside days to see a doctor, how how others had to share oxygen with one another. There's no HVAC, but I could go on. I could go on to what I could go on and go on a tangent as to what I saw. But here at Quest Unite Africa, through our medical initiative, we try to help bridge that gap through a relationship to help our people on the continent have their basic needs met, because health is important. Without good health, you're not able to thrive or pursue whatever goals or dreams or aspirations that all coincide to the health of a nation, the health of a country. So that's just one example. Next article. Zambia made education free. Now classrooms are crammed. And I will also provide you with this link. All right. Without enough infrastructure investments, experts say overcrowding is now threatening the quality of education, especially for low-income students. According to the UNICEF, the focus for policymakers is now shifting to the quality of education. The hiring of qualified teachers and physical infrastructure and resources is vital to the future education of the children of Zambia. Zambia has already invested 1 billion in their education sector since the introduction of free education. And you could read the article, but I'm going to give you the synopsis. What is happening essentially is they have made education free in Zambia. That's an excellent step in the direction, but they do not have the infrastructure, the critical infrastructure to handle all those children or handle new classmates coming into the classroom. They don't have enough desks, and the classroom is too crowded. So the kids that are going to these classrooms, they're not all getting the undivided attention of their teachers. The teacher has a hard time having control of the class because it's so overcrowded. So everyone is distracted and they are not learning as proficiently as they could be. I even read that one girl who's 18 said that it got so bad after fifth grade, she just dropped out. Imagine that, dropping out at, imagine like here, I'm just putting in a perspective of us here in America. Can you imagine just saying, oh, I can't go to school because there's not enough desks. I can't go to school because the teacher can't teach me because everyone is so distracted and there's no real focused learning in the class. That's heartbreaking. But I'm here to tell you at Quest Unite Africa, how we would be able to alleviate this situation. I believe through critical infrastructure. That's one thing. Through the initiative of critical infrastructure, through two initiatives, particularly business and technological innovation. Businesses could offer infrastructure at a cheaper rate to help the children's, help build more schools for the children, as well as there's a cultural engagement element as well, because we would need to know, and with cultural engagement, we're talking about learning one another's culture. We would need to know exactly what is important for the children of Zambia to learn, not only just, universally, but what is important to them that they need to know about themselves and where they come from. Because I believe there was a great quote saying that a tree without, not knowing who you are, your history, or your, just the things around you, if you can't, articulate that and relay that confidently, then you're a tree without no roots. So here at Quest Unite Africa, I'll give one quick example through technological innovation that is on my mind. There is a brother in Quest Unite Africa who is creating virtual learning, a virtual learning app. I will disclose it. I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose it. Next time I will. He is creating a virtual learning platform where people could learn online. So there would be less need for an actual physical location for learning. And also, we could train the teachers and the staff through this technological innovation how to use these tools in order to teach the children, give them one-on-one lessons, and then they'll have more focused learning. and there will be less stress on the infrastructure or for them to go into school constantly. Or if they want to, obviously have a physical location, then they could have that. But we could use virtual learning as a way to help mitigate the influx of the children and how much stress it's putting on the teachers. All right. Our final article and last article, and I will put the link into the bio as well. I mean, into the chat as well. Am I sharing my screen? Can people see this? Can people see the slides? Can I get a 1 or a 2? One if you could see the slides, 2 if you can't. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you. Okay. So, Kenya World Bank funded skill project to absorb 6 million Kenyan youths. Employment Manager, Bingwa Services, and Kenya Alliance of Residents Association have signed a memorandum to create jobs for Kenyan youths. The partnership funded by World Bank plans to equip 1,000 service providers with marketable soft skills, creating consistent gig jobs and reliable income for up to 500 youths within 3 months. It aims to expand across Kenya and prepare the workforce for international markets facing labor shortages. All right. So this is an example of a strategic partnership through business. Bingwa Services, as the article states, I'll put it in here. Give me 1 second. Okay, as I was saying before, this is an example of a business initiative, because a business, Bingwa Services in this case, is working with the World Bank to fund a project for an education initiative for young Kenyan people to work, give them skills in order to train them to be able to get into the workforce. I think this is a good initiative and a great start for Kenya, or a good example. My only, maybe, my opinion, the only thing I may disagree is, or may want to change is, the World Bank, like the IMF and all these other global entities of bureaucratic governments and agencies and all that jargon. They always, may have, they may look like they always have the best interests of the people with these initiatives, but I would just be a little bit wary of, how these things would turn out. I would closely monitor the results of the initiative, how They could keep metrics of how many children or students are employed after these programs. But I'm going to relate this to Quest Unite Africa and how we, through our educators here, or more I say entrepreneurs here, how they could create an initiative in order to teach children or teach young adults marketable skills. And I'll just give one marketable skill that we take for granted that they may even, may even seem something like innocuous or something. Well, let me not use innocuous, something small. Microsoft Office. Most of us learned Microsoft Office when we were what? I'd say I remember learning Microsoft Office in middle school, 7th grade. We learned how to use Microsoft Word, learned how to use PowerPoint, we learned how to use Excel, and etc. And we were in computer class, and we were like, oh, yeah, this is cool, this is fun, da 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 da, But later on, you realize how important those skills are. And the people on the continent don't have, they don't learn how to use Microsoft Office. They don't, I mean, do they? Some of them do have the access to computers, but not a lot. And if they have access to computers, um, all their learning is not from the government or from school. It's from either uh, a business, or they had to go overseas to learn these things. So I believe that Quest Unite Africa, we could brainstorm a way through our entrepreneurs here in America, ways to create initiatives in order for children or young adults in Kenya to learn different marketable skills. So then they would feel empowered to go out in the job market and do what they need to do. And once you give the youth the tools and the access and the information, they'll just continue to spread it. And that, in case, will completely change the workforce and the employment of a nation just through that initiative. So the key thing here was to create a strategic relationship through promoting educational job training. All right. And well, family, this is all I got. Thank you for tuning in. I will definitely refine this, and please put suggestions and or feedback in the comments, and subscribe, and share. And I just thank you. Thank you for supporting Quest Unite Africa, everyone. And you will continue to see the growth of this channel and the growth of our initiatives and the growth of our relationships on the continent. It's going to be a huge endeavor. I see it blossoming, and I will leave it at that because I'm about to go on a tangent. And don't miss out on me and brother Mike at noon today on African Logistical Agency, where we talk about business on the continent, business in Tanzania. So tune in and thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you.